little 5-week update. They are now dropping and they are now starting to settle, thankfully. But unfortunately, the infection has lasted a lot longer than I thought, and I've been in and out of the doctors, getting it seen to, and hopefully I'll be back to work in sort of 6 weeks time. But yeah, just thought I'd update you all because I know a lot of you are eagerly waiting. I hope to see you all soon. So there I am in my hotel room in black lingerie, face painting my face as a tiger. This particular client is one of my favorites because he's just so out there, and it's definitely like funniest memories like pop up in my head when I think about him. I wouldn't say one meet because I think we've had about 4, and every time I've had to face paint myself as something different with lingerie to match. So I have been a cat, I have been a tiger, I have been a bunny rabbit, and the last one was a mime. And I think when I was dressed as a mime, he even brought in what he wanted me to wear. And then we have rules for each booking as well. I think the mime booking, I had to be silent the whole time, and I had to do the whole I think there's pictures on my Insta somewhere if you want to have a look. I love sharing stories like this because it shows this kind of line of work in a whole different light. People think of it as grubby and street alleyways and back of cars, and no, actually I'm in a lovely hotel room face painting my face, making myself look like an animal and doing a bit of drama for the evening. I love a bit of acting. So I'll have to face paint my face before he'll come in, and I would go to answer the door. I'll be knock knock, and I'd open the door and I would hide my face, and he would pass me my lingerie that he wanted me to wear without looking at me in the face. We'd met a couple of times by this point. And he'd pass it to me and I was like, hey, hi. And then I'd run into the bathroom and get my lingerie on, giggling. Mind, I am cracking up at this point, like full mime outfit like on. Like I had the hat beret, I had the little black sequin shorts, I had the stripy top with the pink things, you know, the, what do you call them? You know what I mean, the things that go up and around. And I then come out, and then he was like just in awe. He just absolutely loved like how much effort I went into face painting and everything. And this particular client, he's just so much fun. He likes being face painted too, so I would do a bit of face paint on him too. But then we would have lots of fun. He would usually bring a bag of goodies with lots of different toys and things in it. And we would play dress ups on him too. And it would just be full of lots of innuendos and me making funny comments the whole time. So yeah. My most awkward encounter has got to be with a gentleman that seemed absolutely fine over messages, came in very polite, hygienic, everything above board, all good. And we've done the deed, and we're just chatting, and he turns around and says, that was so good because I was imagining that you were my daughter the whole time. Anyone that has met me in person, or you will soon find out if I don't like something on my face, it normally shows very quickly. I've got the biggest resting bitch face. It goes it's awful. Anyway, it must have shown anyway. So the guy's looked at me and he's gone, oh, I meant my stepdaughter. Like, he fully backtracked. He definitely didn't mean stepdaughter, he meant daughter. And I was so weirded out. I was like, oh my god, can this person leave right now? So it's safe to say that I never saw that client again. So yeah, that's my most awkward encounter, and one that I hope never repeats itself. This is story time of a life of a working girl. I'm going to take you back to mid-2024, and by then I'd already had a child. I had gone through a marriage, divorce, and lots of boyfriends. I've been through alcoholics, I've been through verbally abusive, schizophrenic, you name it. I've got the badge. And I'd had enough of dating basically, and an old friend got in touch with me and asked me how my love life is, and I explained that I'd had enough of men, which seems really silly how I got into this position. I was so fed up with how I was being treated by men. So I explained my situation and how I kept going through boyfriends and men didn't want to stick around, or I'd go on dates and it seemed really promising and then a couple of days later ghosted. So I was chatting to my friend and he was like, Amelia, you're basically doing this kind of line of work, but in your personal life you could make so much money out of this. I was like, no, I couldn't do that. Like, not with people I didn't find that attractive or whatever. And he, long story short, he planted the seed in my head and I thought about it for a little while, a week probably. I'm quite impulsive. And I think the latest guy that I'd gone on a date with had blown me off once again. So I'd basically had enough and I gave him a ring, my mate, and I said, tell me your ins and outs. And he had a girlfriend at the time that was doing this line of work and introduced me, and yeah, rest is history. And I thought, you know what, I'll give it a week, I'll try it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. And then I won't ever do it again. And I got through my first day, no nerves at all. In my previous life, I was a hairdresser, or I am a hairdresser, so I'm able to talk to people very easily and make conversation very easily and yeah, meet people easily. So, and all the dates that I had been on kind of gave me experience on how to open the door to I don't know who. So yeah, that's how I got into it, and I haven't looked back since. I love the job. I love meeting new people. I like making people feel good and feel happy, and a lot of this job that people don't realise is a lot of it is companionship, and people want not just the deed, but they want to talk to someone on an emotional level as well. Like, I've almost become like a bit of a sex therapist. People want to tell me all about their problems. I would say 90% of the men that I would see are married or taken, and most of the time there is generally a reason why they would come to see someone like me, and they will ask me for my advice, which I think is really nice. I'll always be so thankful to my friend for ringing me that day and introducing me to this secret little life that no one really knows anything about. And I'm just really excited to share some stories with you all so you can just understand a little bit of the excitement that goes behind closed doors that, yeah, I didn't know about, no one really knows about, and it goes on so much more than you think. Thank you for taking the time to watch today. I really appreciate it. And if there's anything you want to know, please drop in the comments some questions, or there's like a link where it's anonymous if you want to ask me anonymously. I'd love to answer some questions for you all, and I hope you enjoy my journey of talking to you all.